Ladies and gentlemen, gather round. Today we're talking about 5 behaviors that should never be tolerated. Not rarely, not sometimes, never. Because the moment you tolerate one nonsense, another nonsense applies for residency and brings its cousins. At some point, life forces you to choose yourself. Not because you're dramatic, not because you're difficult, but because certain behaviors, if tolerated for too long, will drain you until you no longer recognize who you are. Here are 5 behaviors that should never be given a home in your life, not even a guest room. People who avoid responsibility. There's a special kind of frustration reserved for people who can explain everything except their own mistakes. These are the ones who say, "I didn't mean it," as if that magically erases the impact. Or, "You should have reminded me," even though they're adults with functioning memory, smartphones and alarms. Every issue becomes someone else's fault. Every situation becomes a scene where they are the victim of life's conspiracy. The danger? When you deal with them long enough, you start apologizing for their errors just to keep things calm. You start carrying bags that aren't yours, and eventually you forget what accountability is supposed to look like. A relationship with zero accountability becomes a relationship full of resentment. Hold people responsible for their actions. It's not harsh, it's healthy. People who make you solve emotional riddles. If communication feels like a detective assignment, something is wrong. You greet them normally. They respond with, "Okay." What is okay? Is it agreement? Is it anger? Is it world peace? Nobody knows it. You ask, "What's wrong?" They say, "Nothing." But everything about their energy screams, "Everything." You try again, and suddenly you've offended them for asking. This behavior drains emotional energy because it puts you in a constant guessing game. Real communication shouldn't feel like decoding ancient inscriptions. A healthy person says what they feel. An unhealthy one makes you pull their emotions out with forceps. You deserve clarity, not emotional hide and seek. Consistent disrespect for your time. It's one thing to be late because life happened. It's another thing to be late because lateness is a personality trait. These are the people who say, "I'm 5 minutes away," even though they're still at home, wearing a towel, scrolling through their phone. Or the ones who tell you, "I'm almost there," but somehow almost lasts longer than some relationships. It may seem small, but consistent lateness says something important. I expect you to wait for me because my schedule matters more than yours. Time is a form of respect, and when someone repeatedly wastes it, they're telling you, without words, how they view your importance. Stop adjusting your life around people who don't adjust anything for you. People who cannot stand your progress. Nothing exposes a person more than your success, even the small ones. Some people become silent when you share good news. Some people suddenly change the topic. Some people pretend to congratulate you, but it sounds like an obituary. "Oh, wow, that's nice." With the enthusiasm of a tired cashier. The truth? People who cannot be happy for you do not have your best interest at heart. Their envy might not be loud, but you will feel it. Their discomfort might not be verbal, but it will show. Over time, you'll find yourself shrinking, avoiding sharing good news, downplaying your wins to make them comfortable. And that is a dangerous habit to develop. Your wins should not require permission. Your joy should not require filters. Stay close to those who clap genuinely. Distance yourself from those who only clap for themselves. People who show up only when they need something. If someone's presence in your life is seasonal, pay attention to the pattern. They're invisible when you're going through things, unavailable when you need support. But once they need a favor, your phone suddenly becomes the hottest line in town. Their sweetness returns. Their kindness suddenly resurrects. Their voice becomes soft enough to melt butter. But once they get what they need, they disappear again until the next request. Inconsistency is not harmless. It creates confusion and emotional instability. You'll start questioning your worth. You'll start wondering if you're doing something wrong. But the truth is simple. A person who values you shows up consistently, not only when it benefits them. Your energy should not be a tap they open and close based on convenience. The behaviors you allow become the standards you live with. And when the standards are low, your relationships and your peace suffer. So don't tolerate people who dodge accountability, people who communicate in riddles, people who disrespect your time, people who shrink around your success, people who love you selectively. Choosing yourself isn't selfish, it's responsible. Because peace is expensive and anything that costs you your sanity is too costly to keep. If you liked today's deep dive, hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to like, share, and drop your comments below. I'll be seeing you soon.